This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for October 12, 2023, two motorcyclists dead after overtaking in Portmore goes wrong. Two motorcyclists were killed and a third person hospitalized following a crash along Cumberland Boulevard in Portmore, St. Catherine on Wednesday morning. Police have identified the deceased as a 20-year-old Johnny Carnegie of Dreamland Drive, Old Breton, and a 22-year-old Kieran Lee Stewart of Sandina Avenue, Caymanas Garden, both in the parish. The incident happened about 8 a.m. The police say Carnegie, who was riding his MOV 200 motorcycle along the roadway, attempted to overtake a line of traffic. He reportedly lost control of the motorcycle and collided with Stewart's motorcycle. The two were pronounced dead at hospital. The woman is being treated. St. Elizabeth businessman charged in love triangle killing. The St. Elizabeth police have charged the businessman who was implicated in the fatal shooting of 35-year-old Orlando Blake in burnt ground last week. Robert Russell, a 45-year-old of Olive Park in Santa Cruz, was on Tuesday charged with murder. His court date is being finalized. It was reported that Mr. Russell, who is a licensed firearm holder, was at the home of his child's mother when Mr. Blake entered the bedroom about 2 a.m. last Sunday. Mr. Blake was reportedly in an intimate relationship with the woman. The businessman shot Mr. Blake in the upper body. The wounded man fled the house and collapsed outside. He was pronounced dead at hospital. A car belonging to the woman was set ablaze by residents, and she subsequently fled the community. She was listed as a person of interest in the matter, but the news has learned that she has since been questioned and released. Third victim in St. James' shooting has died. The third victim wounded in Tuesday night's deadly attack in Sam Sharp Square, St. James, has died. Romaria Flick died Wednesday afternoon while being treated at hospital. Two other people, 35-year-old Jeffrey Woodstock, a fruit vendor of Greenville, Norwood, and Crawford Street in Mount Salem, and 27-year-old Kitania Tomlinson, a car rental operator of Providence Heights in Flanker, were killed in the attack. The shooting reportedly occurred at a candlelight vigil about 10:15 p.m. The news was informed that people had gathered at the vigil for a man who was murdered in the community of Paradise last week when armed thugs approached them and opened fire. Investigators say Woodstock was the target. A senior officer told the news that members of a police team had ordered attendees at the vigil to shut it down about 8 o'clock. He said the attack occurred after the police team left the area to attend to another scene in St. James. Manchester police impose a curfew in Greenville amid a killing. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in the troubled community of Greenville, Manchester, following Tuesday's murder of a taxi operator. The curfew started at 6 p.m. on Wednesday and will end at 6 p.m. on Friday. Based on the recent spate of violent crimes in the Greenville community and its environs, the division's intelligence investigative arms have conducted inquiries, investigation, and surveillance exercises. Information so far revealed that the recent spate of violent crimes in the community is because of interpersonal disputes between rival gangsters, the Manchester police said in a statement. The boundaries are as follows. Northern boundary from a section of Gabby Street at a northern 1,182 meters along Gabby Street Road to a section of roadway at the Winston Jones Highway vicinity of Miketown bus stop. Eastern boundary from a section of roadway at the Winston Jones Highway vicinity of Miketown bus stop at the eastern boundary 1,867 meters along the Winston Jones Highway to the entrance of Tropics View Hotel at the southern boundary. Southern boundary from a section of the entrance of Tropics View Hotel at the southern 1,588 meters along an imaginary line to the intersection of Texas Street and the Duncy Lane. Western boundary from Duncy Lane and the Texas Street intersection at the southern boundary 1,793 meters along an imaginary line westerly to a section of Gabby Street at the northern boundary. Persons are reminded that during the hours of curfew, all persons within the boundaries of the curfew are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized in writing by the ground commander. The curfew follows Tuesday's deadly gun attack in the Scotstown area of Greenville, where taxi operator Gregory Sutherland, 36, was killed and his mother shot and wounded. Witness claims he did not get $3 million promised for murdering businessman's wife. A cell phone that Devlin Minot began to use following the 2020 murder of Tonya MacDonald secretly recorded around 120 telephone conversations between himself and Tonya's husband, Everton Beachistout MacDonald, who was charged for her killing. Minot told the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Wednesday that he went into the settings on the phone and selected an option that activated call recording after numerous failed attempts to collect the $3 million he said he was promised by the Portland businessman Beachistout for the murder of Tonya. I did not receive the $3 million payment. I didn't receive any money at all. Minot, the second witness in the murder trial of Beachistout and his co-accused Oscar Barnes, said in his testimony. Minot pointed out that Beachistout made him an offer whilst he insisted and convinced him to kill Tonya, despite him telling the businessman that he did not know how to do these things. I felt depressed because he said, "No, let me down," he said. Beachistout's wife, Tonya, was killed on July 20, 2020 in Sherwood Forest, Portland. Her body and her car were burnt after she was stabbed multiple times and her throat slashed. Beachistout allegedly contracted Minot to kill Tonya, who he accused of cheating on him with a policeman and other men. Meanwhile, in a shocking revelation in court on Wednesday, Minot claimed he had a sexual relationship with Tonya MacDonald. The relationship was intimate. She used to give him trouble with me. I was part of her life, like relationship and having sex with her. It ended because she did, Minot claimed. Apart from suspecting that his wife was cheating, the witness said Beachistout also accused her of stealing over $30 million from him. Minot said he agreed to kill Tonya after Beachistout offered him $3 million to do the job. Without any down payment or deposit from Beachistout, Minot said he contracted Barnes to kill Tonya because he himself didn't have the skills or knowledge to stab her and to cut her throat, as was the alleged wish of her husband. Minot pleaded guilty for being the contractor in the murder and was sentenced to more than 19 years in prison. He later agreed to become crown witness and decided to give testimony against Beachistout and Barnes. Minot claimed that after Barnes, the alleged killer, completed the job, he began to press him about the payment he was to get for carrying out the murder. After the killing, I saw Mr. Barnes again in the last week of July. I left my house with my wife and one of my sons on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. I asked a taximan to bring my wife to Kingston to work. I reached Anota Bay and asked the taximan to stop so I could go and see Mr. Barnes, but he wasn't there beside the Chinese supermarket. Minot said, in reference to the business establishment that is beside an alley where he said he met up with Barnes on numerous occasions. I turned away and went back in the car. I then headed to Kingston. I saw Mr. Barnes that evening about 3 p.m. at the Chinese supermarket. He asked if it was the money I brought for him, and I told him no. I told him that I talked to Beachistout. Barnes asked how long it would take to get it. I told him we would meet in the town. I walked away. I spoke to him again on Wednesday in Port Antonio. I met him at a taxi stand and I took him on William Street for him to get the money. I took him into a bar and told him to wait while I get the money for him. I headed to Beachistout supermarket on William Street and I didn't see him, but I spoke to the security. I turned back and go back to Barnes and said that the boss was busy right now and we have to check him back. Mr. Barnes said, "You have me do things I am not supposed to do. I want the money," and he just walked away with vexation on his face. I didn't meet with him again. The witness went on to tell the court that he saved the phone conversations between himself and the Beachistout under the name Vibes Cartel in the event someone found the phone and the memory card. He assumed that anyone who found it would think it was music on the chip. According to Minot, he handed the phone over to the police when they came and searched his house, then arrested him in August 2020. At 5 o'clock the Monday morning, I was inside my house with one of my sons when I heard someone playing with the door lock. I got up and went to the window, drew the curtain and peeped outside. but I didn't see anything. I went to my room and then I heard the front door playing with again. I go into my son's room to look, and he was still in his bed. I came back in my room and took up the machete and went to the door and asked, who that? The person said, police. Bubla, open the door. I asked them to come to the window so I can prove that it was police. 2 of them came to the window with an envelope that stated search warrant. I opened the door and the police came in and took up a bag with some receipts. They took my ID and US $650,000 in bogus money. The police handcuffed me, locked up the house and took me and my son to Kingston. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.